In the heart of the Sahara Desert, where existence itself becomes a daily battle against nature's extremes, and the shade offers no mercy as temperatures exceed 50 degrees, an extraordinary tale of resilience emerges, carved by the winds and immortalized in legend. For millennia, only camels dared cross this merciless expanse. But from its sun-scorched dunes, a new legend rose. The Peugeot 404. It was never just a vehicle. It was a lifeline, a companion that braved sandstorms, relentless heat, and infinite horizons, surging forward with tireless resolve. In a land where others failed, it thrived. Equipped with a robust engine, adaptive suspension, and a frame built to last, the 404 dominated endurance events, surpassing even the world's most elite automobiles. From punishing rally stages to grueling cross-country trials, it didn't just compete, it conquered, earning its place at the forefront of automotive history. But its greatness wasn't measured in trophies alone. For those who called the desert home, it became essential, hauling goods, transporting people, saving lives. Its presence was not occasional, it was indispensable. The Peugeot 404 stood not merely as a machine, but as a testament to engineering crafted with purpose, and to the human spirit that refuses to yield. It did not age, it endured. The Peugeot 404, etched in gold across the burning skin of the Sahara. Before streets became mere roads, before cars turned into silent machines, there was a French legend whispering to time. The Peugeot 404, born in Europe's heart during an era of change. As France penned its story of progress, Peugeot etched its legacy onto the asphalt. With calm lines and elegant simplicity, it entered homes before it ruled the streets, winning hearts before turning heads. From Paris to Beirut, through the soul of Cairo, the 404 moved with quiet confidence, crossing alleys, rough roads, and endless desert, never hesitating, always enduring. But the story of the Peugeot 404 didn't end at the city limits. When it crossed to Africa, it found its true destiny, on harsh roads, under burning sun and swirling dust, earning in Kenya the name Simba, the lion. In the late 1950s, France dreamed of a car that was elegant, strong, and versatile. From that vision came the Peugeot 404, with a sleek design and a signature touch from Italy. The legendary Battista Pininfarina shaped its lines with timeless elegance, uniting French precision with Italian passion. The result, a graceful form, and a beauty that would never fade. On May 11, 1960, the Peugeot 404 was unveiled to the press. A bold new chapter for Peugeot, introduced alongside the aging 403. Though similar in size, the 404 stood apart with its refined and modern design. Its rear fins were subtle, a quiet answer to the exaggerated American styles of the 50s. It shared visual DNA with other Pininfarina designs like the Austin Cambridge and Fiat 1800. Some accused Battista of repeating himself, but the 404's balanced proportions made it the truest expression of his vision. Technically, the Peugeot 404 stood at a crossroads between eras, carrying the strength of the past while stepping into the future with precision. It inherited its engine and transmission from the 403, and earlier, the 203. At its heart, the XC engine, a 1.6-litre, four-cylinder unit with three main bearings. A single-barrel carburetor, mounted on the cylinder head, delivered 72 reliable horsepower. Power flowed through an updated 403 gearbox and a rear axle via torque tube. Inside, a bronze crown gear met a steel worm gear, durable and time-tested. The forged steel crankshaft added toughness, while the engine's 45-degree tilt allowed for a lower hood line, a design feature that would later carry over to the Peugeot 504. The front suspension, traditional leaf springs were replaced by McPherson struts, an American design using a lower wishbone arm and rubber bushings for a smoother, more stable ride. The 404 wasn't built to dazzle with raw performance. It was practical, precise, and quietly confident. Its braking system matched that spirit. 255mm drums on all wheels. No servo, no hydraulics, just simple twin-plex brakes that worked. Yet the performance surprised many. With 72 horsepower and a top speed of 142 km per hour, the 404 handled everyday demands with ease. Reviewers praised its elegant design, quiet cabin, responsive handling, and above all, balanced fuel consumption, making it perfect for both city streets and open highways. In 1961, Peugeot, a brand known for conservatism, surprised the world. At the Paris Motor Show, a new chapter began. The Peugeot 404 Cabriolet, an elegant, open-top car born of a French-Italian design romance, crafted to inspire dreams rather than meet needs. With flowing lines and a refined interior, the 404C was Europe's answer to the personal car, much like Ford's Thunderbird. But the innovation wasn't just in the looks. That same year, Peugeot introduced an engine with Kugel-Fischer indirect fuel injection, raising output to 86 horsepower at 5,700 RPM, and the Cabriolet's construction, a cross-continental ballet. Chassis built in socks, shipped to Turin for Pininfarina's handcrafted bodywork, then back to France for final assembly, a true collaboration of precision and passion. But the magic of the 404C wasn't just in its open roof. It lived in every curve drawn by Pininfarina's hand. Each line flowed with purpose, shaped for beauty, and the windshield, a curved blend of clarity and grace. Beneath the bumper, a hidden spoiler refined the airflow, years before aerodynamics became a buzzword. Yet, this wasn't a true sports car. The gear shifter still sat by the steering wheel. No tachometer, but Peugeot wasn't chasing speed. They were crafting an experience, elegant, composed, and full of soul. In 1961, at the famed Salon d'Auto, Pininfarina revealed a surprise. A hardtop 404C, unveiled without Peugeot's approval. It was bold, but beautiful. Peugeot was furious, then persuaded. By the next year, the hardtop became official. What began in rebellion became a mark of elegance. Performance, quietly confident. The Cabriolet topped 148 kilometers per hour, not from extra power, but aerodynamic grace. That year also introduced a new engine, the XCKF, with Kugelfischer mechanical injection, 85 horsepower, and refined efficiency. It outperformed the carbureted version, in power and economy alike. By 1962, the once rejected hardtop became official. And Peugeot introduced the electromechanical coupler Jaeger, an automatic transmission with no clutch pedal. That year, the 404 reached North America. The Cabriolet entered production, but at a steep price, over 75% more than the sedan. Pininfarina was also asked to design a coupe, based on the Cabriolet, but with a welded roof for greater rigidity. To many, it was the most elegant 404 ever made. Built in Italy, the coupe debuted at the 1962 Paris Motor Show. Front drum brakes were upgraded to 280 millimeters. In Canada and the US, 404 imports rose, nearly identical to European models, except for sealed beam headlights, red taillights, imperial gauges, and miles-per-hour speedometers. Then came 1963, a turning point. Peugeot unveiled a new station wagon, not a sedan conversion, but a ground-up design. It redefined Peugeot's image, especially in North Africa, where it became a lasting symbol of trust and endurance. With a 190mm longer wheelbase and unique rear suspension with dual coil springs, the 404 wagon carried 600 kilograms, featured 3 seating rows, and accommodated 8 passengers, purpose-built for large families. That same year, the 404 sedan launched with a KF mechanical fuel injection engine, 85 horsepower, 155 km/h top speed, rivaling the Cabriolet and Coupe. On Thursday, March 28, 1963, the East African Safari Rally roared to life, across some of the harshest roads in the world. From the heart of Nairobi, the journey stretched nearly 5,000 kilometers. Cutting through Kenya, Uganda, and Tanganyika, 84 drivers and 7 factory teams faced a brutal cocktail of mud, torrential rain, jagged rocks, and river crossings. This wasn't a race, it was a test of survival. Dozens of cars dropped out along the way. Mechanical failures and crashes eliminated most, except for the toughest. Among the survivors stood the Peugeot 404, a family sedan, transformed into a desert warrior, backed by marshals of Kenya, and driven by Nick Nowicki and Paddy Cliff. The 404 pushed forward with confidence, equipped only with a carburetor, but powered by relentless determination. When the dust finally settled, only 7 cars made it to the finish line. Three of them were Peugeot 404s, and one of them claimed victory. From that day on, it was known by a single name, Simba, the Lion. In 1964, Peugeot upgraded its XC 4-cylinder engine to the XC5, adding 5 main bearings for better smoothness and balance. The fuel-injected version became the XC-KF1, capable of higher revs, though most 404 drivers lacked a tachometer unless they installed one. That year, the 404C got a subtle refresh. Oval SEMA indicators replaced the round Corello units, now with dual color lenses. Rubber strips were also added to the sedan's front bumpers, a quiet nod to evolving safety and style. That same year, Peugeot launched the 404 diesel, with a 1,948 cubic centimeters engine making 68 horsepower, alongside a more economical 1,816 cubic centimeters 55 horsepower version for taxis, first seen in 1963. In the US, Peugeot Incorporated refused to import fuel-injected or convertible models. But Eastern auto distributors defied that, independently bringing in carbureted cabriolets. Despite the high price, the 404C gained a loyal following, especially under California's sun.
In 1965 brought a wave of upgrades to the Peugeot 404. The carbureted XC engine got larger valves, boosting output from 72 to 76 horsepower, pushing the sedan to 148 km per hour, and the Cabriolet and Coupe to 155 km per hour. Fuel-injected version became the XC-KF2, now with 96 horsepower, thanks to a redesigned intake, larger valves, and a sharper camshaft. Cold starts improved with an auxiliary air valve and electric fuel spray. Now, the 1.6L engine could take the sedan to 160 km per hour, and injection coupe cabriolet models to 167 km per hour, even touching 105 miles per hour in some tests. But in 1960s France, the open road still had limits. More speed demanded better brakes. Instead of switching to discs, Peugeot refined its drum system. Larger cylinders, high heat linings, and a strong brake booster delivered smooth, responsive stops, rivaling Citroën's feel. Even under hard driving, brake fade was no longer an issue. To match performance, most carbureted sedans and cabriolet coupe models got high-speed tires like Michelin XA2 or Dunlop SP Sport, replacing the older Michelin X, ensuring grip beyond 160 km per hour. The fuel-injected Peugeot 404 sedan reached Canada. Peugeot Canada also began importing the 404 Coupe and Cabriolet, mainly with the KF2 engine. These upscale models featured a noddy floor shifter as standard, replacing the old column lever. The former column opening was sealed with a plastic plate, and the central tunnel was covered for soundproofing and refinement. In 1965, Peugeot made a bold decision to challenge industry giants like Mercedes-Benz, aiming to break world records in endurance and speed. On June 4th of the same year, a new legend was born on France's Montilhary circuit. Peugeot tested its prototype of the 404 diesel dedicated to racing. This wasn't just an ordinary test, but an epic featuring 5 drivers alternating shifts, 25 mechanics working tirelessly, and 2 engineers specializing in the legendary Indina diesel engine. The test lasted for 31 continuous hours. The car covered 5,000 kilometers, achieving an average speed of 160 kilometers per hour. The diesel engine proved its worth without a doubt. Reliable, powerful, and unexpectedly fast. Seven days later, specifically on June 11, 1965, Peugeot returned to repeat the challenge with an even higher level of daring.
The company replaced the Indina engine with a smaller, more advanced engine, the XD88, with a capacity of 1,948 cubic centimeters, generating 68 horsepower. The new challenge was even more exciting, driving for 72 continuous hours without stopping. The car covered a distance of 11,000 kilometers, achieving a higher average speed of 161 kilometers per hour. Most impressively, the final fuel consumption was 12 liters per 100 kilometers, an excellent figure for a car running at almost full capacity throughout this marathon test. These tests marked a turning point in the history of Peugeot and diesel engines, confirming that innovation and durability can break all barriers. In 1965, Peugeot started 404 assembly in Canada at the Soma plant near Montreal, utilizing CKD kits to bypass import duties. Most Canadian-built 404 sedans, excluding fuel-injected models, featured a unique Alouette badge. In 1966, the Peugeot 404 saw no major changes, but a new version emerged, the Automatique sedan, fitted with a carbureted engine and a proper 3-speed ZF automatic transmission with a torque converter. The poorly selling Jaeger coupler system was discontinued. The sedan received new front bumpers with rubber-clad overriders and front turn signals mirroring the 1964 404C design. A subtle difference remained. The Coupe and Cabriolet had left and right specific indicators, while the sedan and station wagon shared interchangeable units. At the late 1966 Paris Motor Show, Peugeot unveiled the refreshed 1967 404C. Updates included a raised front bumper, a redesigned front fascia with a revised grille for twin sepia driving lamps, and larger front indicators. The lower air deflector was now welded directly to the body. Inside, comfort was enhanced with new reclining seatbacks, and the dashboard was upgraded to a 3-gauge layout, though still without a tachometer. The 1967 Peugeot 404 sedans, starting production in July 1966, received subtle refinements. Most notably, they adopted the new dashboard from the Coupe and Cabriolet models, updating the interior. The spare wheel was relocated to a new underfloor compartment in the trunk, increasing storage. Visually, minor changes included rectangular rear reflectors and a small sloped section ahead of the bumper. In April 1966, the Peugeot 404 won the demanding East African Safari Rally. Bert Shankland and co-driver Chris Rothwell drove a fuel-injected sedan to victory. This win significantly boosted the car's reputation and sales, particularly in African and Middle Eastern markets. In 1967, the XC5 carbureted engine was upgraded to the XC6, increasing horsepower to 80, which improved acceleration and boosted top speeds to 150 km per hour for the sedan and 140 km per hour for the station wagon. Sedans received the new BA7 gearbox with hydraulic clutch control, while coupes and cabriolets kept the older C3 unit. In March 1967, production began for the Peugeot 404 pickup, offered in carbureted and diesel versions with impressive 800 to 1,000 kilograms payloads. That same year, Bert Shankland and Chris Rothwell again won the East African Safari Rally in a fuel-injected 404 sedan. That victorious car is now displayed at the Peugeot Museum in Sceaux, France. (1968) marked a significant shift for Peugeot's elegant Pininfarina-styled 404 sedan, Coupe, and Cabriolet. This was the last year these models would feature the KF2 fuel-injected engines, with production ceasing in early autumn. The very last Cabriolets received the BA7 gearbox and a refined noddy floor-mounted shifter, a fitting send-off for these iconic designs. While the fuel-injected models bowed out, the 80-horsepower carbureted engine continued in production. The US market 404 sedan underwent specific modifications to comply with new emission standards. These updates included side marker lights, positive crankcase ventilation, a copper device, padded dashboards, a four-way flasher switch, and three-point seat belts. Approximately 5,000 units were manufactured for the US and Canadian markets, with an even split between automatic and manual BA7 transmissions. The Peugeot 404's final victory in the grueling East African Safari Rally came with Nick Nowicki and Paddy Cliff, driving a fuel-injected sedan. This fourth win in 6 years cemented the 404 as the king of Africa, outperforming more powerful rivals in the world's toughest rally. Kenyans still affectionately call it Simba, the lion. 1969 saw the last production run of 404 sedans for the US market, extending into early 1970. Over 17 months, a total of 2,345 manual and 2,840 automatic units were manufactured. Interestingly, many of these vehicles, though initially slated for the US, ultimately found their way to Canada. Around this time, the production of the Canadian-specific Alouette sedans at the Soma plant also concluded. North America received a final special edition of the Peugeot 404 between 1970 and 1971. The U6S station wagon. This model was equipped with a 1.8L XM engine featuring twin carburetors, borrowed from the 504, producing a robust 87 horsepower. This made it the most powerful carbureted 404 ever sold. Buyers could choose between a 4-speed manual or a ZF automatic transmission. Production was quite limited, with only 746 manual and 736 automatic units built. Meanwhile, the 404 continued its journey in Europe, with carbureted and diesel versions of the sedan, pickup, and wagon remaining in production. In Argentina, production began in 1962 with Savar, later continuing with Seville until 1980. In Australia, Renault's local branch assembled the 404 from 1962, initially aiming for 2,000 units annually, a program that extended until at least 1981. In Canada, the Soma plant started assembly in 1965, continuing into the late 1960s or early 1970s. In Chile, Automotors Franco Cailena reportedly produced 14,892 units, though specific timelines are not clear. In Peru, local assembly started in 1967 via the Braillard Company. In South Africa, the 404 remained in production until 1978. In Kenya, this nation held the record for the longest production, manufacturing the 404 pickup until 1991. The Peugeot 404 arrived in South Africa in the early 1960s, quickly establishing itself as a symbol of durability and performance. Local production continued until the end of 1978, with the final saloon models powered by the robust 1.8-litre XM7 engine, shared with the iconic 504. The GL variant featured luxurious seating and a distinctive floor-mounted gear shifter. As original 404 parts became scarce, South African mechanics ingeniously adapted, often fitting 504 steering wheels to keep the cars running, showcasing a blend of challenge and ingenuity. Production of the station wagon ceased in early 1976 due to a lack of French CKD parts. However, the 404's legacy endured, particularly through the pickup variant, which continues to navigate the roads of North and West Africa, a testament to its enduring grace and resilience. Ultimately, the Peugeot 404 was more than just a car that crossed borders. It became deeply integrated into the industrial and economic landscape of numerous nations worldwide. In Argentina, Seville continued local 404 production from CKD kits into the early 1980s. Kenya then became a major hub, producing the 404 pickup until 1991, making it the longest produced 404 model globally and a backbone of rural transport. Pickups were also assembled from imported kits in Nigeria and Chad. Surprisingly, after official production ended, workshops in Chile and Bolivia hand-assembled pickups from old stock and reconditioned parts. Estimates suggest over 200,000 Peugeot 404 pickups were built worldwide. The Peugeot 404's manufacturing footprint extended far beyond France, with production spanning several continents and decades.
Afternoon, sir.
Afternoon, sir. You are most welcome.
Okay. My name is Paul. Can I know yours?
I'm called Jacob Domi.
Jacob.
D-O-M-I.
Okay. And you live in Hohoi?
Yes.
Okay.
Please.
We have seen that you are in a very, very nice car. The car is attracting a lot of attention from everybody here. So I want to know, what model of car is this?
This one is Peugeot 404 Caravan. That's how we call it.
404 Caravan.
Caravan, yes.
How long have you had this car?
I got it since 1975.
1975.
Yes. So you can make the calculations.
Wow.
Yes, yeah.
Was it a brand new car that you got?
No, I bought it as almost a scrap.
Back
And
then?
I sent it to Lome for reconditioning. And then I started using it now.
In 75?
Yes.
So this was almost going down as scrap in 1975?
Yes.
Then you revived it?
Yes.
And it is still running?
Yes. I can even take you to Accra, even Nigeria.
Oh, wow. Nice. Okay. What is one thing you love so much about this car?
This car is very strong, durable, very convenient to drive. It doesn't disappoint people just like how other cars do. It's very reliable.
Wow.
You can drive from here to even London without problem.
What is one key memory, one memory that you remember with this car that you will never forget?
When I bought this car, people bought many cars in this hospital. They sold them, bought new ones, sold them, bought new ones, sold them, bought new ones. But mine is still existing.
Wow.
And I'll tell you with confidence that this is the oldest car in town.
That is still running.
Still running, still on road. So I'm very proud of it. People are urging me to sell it. I said, no, I will not sell it. Even they asked me to send it to French embassy in Accra. I said, no, I won't do that.
Okay.
Let me tell you one interesting thing. Some top rich men in town, elderly people, they came to me. They say, oh man, if they give you a new car, would you like to abandon this one? I said, no. What I told them is, even while you bring an aeroplane, new one, nobody sat in it before, I will not accept it. I will continue to use my car. They laugh. It was a joy. It was a very interesting scene that day.
Peugeot 404 gained immense popularity across Europe and Africa, becoming more than just a means of transport. It merged with street culture and became part of the visual identity of the community. It was no surprise to see it on the big screen, chasing and being chased in breathtaking cinematic scenes, proving its presence with steady performance and powerful torque. It felt like a silent co-star, with a presence no one could miss.
Et si c'est moi, c'est mes pires à moi.
Total 4900. L'eau et l'huile, mon vieux.
Aidez-moi, imbécile!
Though it retired from production lines decades ago, the Peugeot 404 never retired from the hearts of its admirers, nor from the silver screen. From the rugged roads of Africa, to the streets of Paris, to iconic scenes in world cinema, the 404 has remained a symbol of elegance, endurance, and the brilliant simplicity of design. A car built to last, and it did. In a world where everything changes, the 404 still whispers to us. Authenticity cannot be bought. It must be crafted. To everyone who drove it, loved it, or simply caught a glimpse of it in a film scene, this salute is for you, and for her. Peugeot 404, a legend that never ends.